Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadrunner.com with your morning hunter disease, your sip of chaga coffee. I'm on the road, my camera's not working, so I'm sipping my coffee right now. Okay, I wanted to go over just a few things today. It is Saturday, so I'm taking the day off. But my buddies over at Crypto Viewing posted a great new RV remote viewing session on the global crypto market all-time high, where they attempted to view when this is going to happen, that the cryptos run up again. Again, we've been through downdrafts so many times. If you've been in cryptos long enough and you just hodl, you're going to be fine. Don't worry about it. I mean, how many times can we go through this before people start believing it? But yeah, crypto could go to negative $40. Bitcoin can go to negative $40 with the click of a mouse. Everything is rigged. I think that is one of the big takeaways I took from this full debrief on the global crypto markets. The computer aspects of it, computer control. It is all controlled, 100% controlled. But so is silver and the stock market, the bond market. They're all controlled, but there is a plan to end the control. So check that out with that in mind. If you mix this remote viewing session with the Road to Ruta information, you'll get a good idea of what's going to go down when. Really interesting part of this one, it talks about the regulations getting into place before the crash. That was always one of my questions when I look forward into the future is, are they going to finally put the regulations in after everything falls apart or before? And clearly from the Patreon, from the Crypto Viewing guys, it's before. So go check that out. Join their Patreon. Go to Patreon, and they're at Crypto Viewing. Crypto Viewing. Really great stuff. And my friend Dick Allgire's back. Although I heard he's sick again. Oh man, he keeps getting sick. He needs more chaga, more vitamin D, Mr. Allgire. But he has a great session, and I mean, every once in a while he'll hit something so amazing. Now remember, they work just from a number, letters. It's like 8 digits or 6. And that's 8 digits, I think. And that's all they're working from. That's all they're given, and then they decode what's behind that number. And the message was, where will the global crypto market all-time high? When will that be? Really interesting stuff, though, at that time. And it's not the all-time high forever. It'll come down again. It's the same game in crypto. But remember also, and they do a great explanation of, I think, Dick's discussion of showing that there are people controlling it with computers behind the scenes. This is all orchestrated, planned, and they're doing exactly what they need to do to make this transition more plausible, I guess. I don't know. Look more organic. But I have always said that the good guys behind the scenes who can pull the plug on this game at any moment want as few winners as possible. They don't want people profiting off the destruction of the monetary system. But you just can't control everything. So I know they listen to my channel, so guys, just get on with it. My God. People ask me, well, what if I have a trusted place to store my silver? There's no more trusted place than yourself. I don't know if they're going to plan on nationalizing all silver they can get their hands on, and where can they get their hands on them? At third-party vaults, obviously the COMEX, the LBMA, all the COMEX warehouses, Swiss vaults, you name it. And remember, even the Swiss are going to be saying, oh my God, we don't have any money. Let's, what have we got? Every country will put their arms around themselves, bring all their troops home. The U.S. should be doing that already. But anyway, that's where we are. Really great discussion on that. So go to Patreon Crypto Viewing and join their amazing channel. All right, I want to run through Zero Hedge because I'm like, I could talk about this. I could talk about this. Talk about this. Again, after we have the shootings and stuff like that, you need to give it a month or so before we find out, how many discrepancies are in it, what really happened. I can't say anything about it, but check out Zero Hedge for this. Everything's changing. The story's changing. Just keep that in mind. Then there's a actually a woman who stopped shooting. So because she was carrying legally. Spain passes decree limiting use of air conditioning. It's getting ugly out there. The cost of power is going through the roof. This is part of the plan. Hyperinflation is going to kick in globally. Remember, when you have a world's reserve currency in the US dollar that is being abused by the country who controls it, you're going to have global hyperinflation. And talk about a great way to get everybody pissed off at the current monetary system. The Fed will pause rate hikes in September. Here's how to trade it. I don't even think the system's going to last till September, but we'll see, right? We'll find out. If you're a hodler and you're sitting on the sidelines like I have suggested for a very long time with your silver and your cryptos ready for whatever happens, you're smiling at this crazy show that is unraveling. Russia is actively discussing allowing crypto for international payments. Absolutely. Cryptos are our future. Anybody, now is the time when people come to me and say, "Oh my God, Bix, you really got that wrong about Bitcoin." I'm like, oh my God, how many times have we heard Bitcoin's dead? How many times? 150, 200 times it's been discussed in the media, 300 times, 1,000,000 times, and yet it keeps coming back. Amazing, because it's a great invention. It's not perfect. Like now, it's a hell of a lot better than gold as a form of money. Gold can't be used as money. It's a store of value because the only reason it's a store of value is it can't be used as money. There's just not enough in it. Now, if we open up all the secret gold mines in the United States, we could use it as money. Sure, we could use it as change. It won't have the kind of value. It will have more value than it has now, but not the kind of value that the gold bugs want. Silver, on the other hand, I don't think can be used for money. I don't think there's enough silver in the world to be used as money because it is absolutely necessary in all other products like computers and flat screen TVs and solar panels. So basically, gold can be used as change, and that's what the Road to Ruta documents clearly show. A girl walking into a bank with 19 gold coins to either cash in or get for the bills. We are returning to a place where we have a redeemable gold standard, along with cryptos, I believe. Not all cryptos, because backed cryptos only harm the crypto and what is trying to back it. So you back cryptos with gold, the gold becomes less valuable and the crypto becomes less valuable, in my opinion. Gold is fine as a standalone asset. You don't have to add a crypto that, especially if you don't know the blockchain that it's on. And vice versa. Cryptos don't need gold or silver to be standalone assets. They're standalone assets on their own. And a lot of people don't understand that. This is just crazy. I was reading this. Apparently, Biden wants to grant the WHO pandemic powers. Hell no. Hell no. That's got to go through Congress. And even if Congress passed something like that, I would say this Congress is out to lunch. So no, we do not give over your sovereign power of your government to anybody. The Europeans are finding out. Just ask Italy how that went for them joining the EU. Dirty political trick. Barr says Hillary Clinton guilty of sedition. Of course she is. I mean, it's will they prosecute anybody? Probably not, because that means the full camera will be turned on Washington. And who isn't guilty of shit in Washington? They're all guilty. They all belong in jail. And that's also one of the Patreon crypto viewing guys, when they were looking at the death of the dollar the while back, it was Congress saying the end is here, and Congress walked out and it was over. I do think we're going to get rid of our federal government and go to I don't know what we're going to go to, truthfully. Probably just local communities taking care of themselves. Let's see what else. Sussman trial exposes Democrats' scandal industrial process. The Republicans are just as bad. Well, maybe not just as bad. I think the Clintons took it to the max, and Obama's. But they were supported by, the Bushes were completely evil and criminal. I mean, you have to go back to like Reagan, who was just controlled by people in the end. But yeah, he was definitely working for the good guys. But yeah, that's America. Let's see. New stealth bomber, great. War. Remember, when politicians get in trouble, they look for a war. The midterms you're wondering why all this stuff is coming up now, the abortion stuff and the mass shooting stuff. It's because the election's coming up. That's exactly why. Don't believe what you read in the newspaper. It's all crazy. 50% of millennials think they need only $300,000 to retire. By then, when the millennials retire, you're looking at probably what, $1,000 a loaf for bread, if things keep going. And the only way to stop inflation is to set interest rates higher than the inflation rate. Wait till June 10th. June 10th, you're going to see an inflation number over 9%, and all of a sudden everybody's going to freak out because the Fed, they're stuck. They can't raise rates, so we're looking at $1,000 bread. Baby formula shortage should persist until July. Are you kidding me? Someone needs to, whoever made those decisions needs to be tried for treason and murder if any kids die because they don't have formula. It's beyond inept. And there's no excuse for that. I mean, talk about a reason to overthrow your government. And I was reading that the Biden administration Biden himself is going to cancel student debt. That's the most insane thing ever. The most insane thing ever. Why? Because future college kids are saying, oh, well, they're just canceling debt. I'll take as much debt out as possible because, of course, people my brother got his debt canceled. Why can't I? And then what happens to everybody who had to work and pay for their college? This is insane. The government paying for people's student debt is the most ridiculous thing. First of all, also it really screws up I thought they liked giving money to poor people. And now they're giving money to, if you go into college, you're probably a little more well off. And they're giving money to them. They're giving money to everybody. This is insane. It's because the money is worthless. That's the real key here. But talk about a situation where, once you do that once, you have to always do it. And it's just, this isn't going to go well for those people having to pay, $7, $8, $9 gas over the summer. Gas is going to hit $10 before September hits. Trust me. Biden education secretary says biological males should be allowed to compete in girls' sports. Well, you just kiss sports goodbye in general. If this bullshit keeps continuing, the people just will stop watching it and give up, which is really sad. 12 groups behind the protests of Musk's Twitter takeover have ties with the Gates Foundation and Soros. Absolutely. Those of you want to know who's running the deep state, there you go. Helium shortage leaves Dollar Tree and Party City's balloons deflated. There's no helium because I don't know why. It's too expensive. State Department approves $2.6 billion helicopter deal for Egypt. Now, I do agree with that. Selling our high-tech military equipment to other countries who might turn to be an enemy one day, I agree with that. Why? Because I know that they embed secret things in those computer systems that they can remote operate them or have them crash if we turn enemies with them. Because remember, these things need parts, they need maintenance, they need software upgrades. If you ask me, that's people say, "Oh my God, I can't believe the U.S. sells these high-tech fighter planes to Saudi Arabia." I'm like, they can click a mouse and destroy them in midair. They can probably even take them over and shoot down their own planes. Computers are amazing things. And this gets back to the DeVoe guy from the original Road to Ruta documents, Stephen DeVoe, who implemented the first computer programs to rig the markets. He then went on to work with IBM and some of the big manufacturers to implement computer software into CNC machines, computerly numeric controlled machines. So yeah, of course, if it's that's why the Chinese bought IBM back in the day, a few years back. They know that if they can control what goes into the computer, the software, and have backdoors where they can get in and control everything, that's ultimate power. So yeah, I have no doubt that the State Department would sell high-tech equipment that can be shut off or controlled by secret people within the U.S. government. So anyway, that's where we are. It's a crazy world. Again, for Road to Ruta members, last week I published who the good guy is behind the third-party lease situation with Bank of America and JP Morgan. It is a good guy behind getting the silver. It's all about who ends up with that physical silver. Ted Butler's done a great job exposing the manipulation, the lease contract, but a lease contract can be structured any way you want it. So with the lessee or the lessor. So I don't know if JP Morgan knows about this entity. Bank of America absolutely does. And I think there's another entity that I'm going to get with Ginny about, a smaller but just as important entity. Remember, all the physical silver that JP Morgan accumulated over their 10 years of rigging the silver price, I think was required to be divested, and they did it through a JP Morgan lease. Now, remember, a lease contract is only as good as the third party's potential and credit to pay it back. So they take down B of A, and all of a sudden Bank of America or JP Morgan no longer has their metal, and who ends up with the metal. That's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of. I think I have. So go check that out if you're on the private road. If you're not on the private road yet, hit subscribe today and get a 1-year subscription, and we will send you a really cool Ruta Lives coin, silver coin, double struck with a red hand-painted heart right in the middle of there, in a box with a certificate. Really cool giveaway this time. Go check that out at roadtoruta.com and then click subscribe today. This is what the coin looks like, and I'll talk to you guys later.